Here at Lake Grove Presbyterian Church, we recognize the complexity of this season and are inviting all of us to reflect on our experience of this complicated and uncertain time. Oh, good morning, Pastor Lillian. It's so
Good
nice
morning.
to see you. Oh, we're starting this off with a giggle, and I love that. Because Lillian, you have brought us something today which is simply a breath of fresh air. How good it is to be able to have this topic, which welcome everyone as you're listening and sharing in this moment with us. We have been talking the last several weeks about the exhaustion that we have felt, really an emotional exhaustion in this odd time of COVID. And now as we're moving more into more and more people having vaccines, there is this very interesting combination of hope, trepidation, wonder, and also a little bit of maybe I'll just stay home. So it's a very complex time. And what you're bringing to us today is the opportunity to see what a gift lightness and laughter is. So, Lillian, would you share with us?
Sure. Yeah. So I wanted to just talk about the value of laughter. And like you so beautifully introduced, this is a complicated, very layered. I mean, the complexity is so layered. There's moments of relief also wrapped up with worry. And so I just wanted to take a moment to talk about laughter and how we all know, right? Laughter is a great medicine. And laughter and laughing may seem a little bit contradictory during a pandemic, a global pandemic, but it might just be what we need. We all know, and I'm not going to be able to recite all of the physiological benefits, but there are benefits to helping boost our immune system. It can help relax our muscles. It could I read that it also improves blood flow. So, the benefits on our body when we laugh are tremendous. And so that made me think, the question is, how often do we laugh in a day? I mean, really think about it. And I really want us here to think about that question. And all of you who are listening, how often do you laugh in a day? Maybe we'll giggle like we just did.
Right. But really laugh, like a belly laugh? Oh my goodness. I would say not very often for me.
Yesterday, I'll only think of yesterday. Yesterday, I did not at all. There was no belly laughing in my life yesterday. And then thinking about children and preschoolers in particular, I think I read somewhere that preschoolers laugh about 400 times a day.
Oh my goodness.
And that data could be off some, but I think it's a good image that it's true. We do hear children laughing, preschoolers laughing, but how often do I actually laugh? Very, very small amount compared to children.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we know what the benefits could be physiologically and then of course emotionally, right? I think about so what brings me laughter, and when I watch someone laugh, it's almost contagious, right? It's like,
Yes.
oh yeah, I feel that levity now because I'm laughing with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there's physical benefits. We know that there are emotional benefits. And so this is just a reminder that, yeah, those benefits exist, and reality check, we don't laugh enough.
Right. And you know what? I think I realized, a couple things of why I think maybe we don't laugh enough. One, it can feel almost like, is that a betrayal are we, in the middle of a pandemic, like you said, and people are really hurting and there's challenging things. I think there can be a fear of, oh, I shouldn't feel lighthearted, right? There feels a little bit of a guilt about that when Boy, that's challenging. It's obviously humor not at the expense of other people or a cruelty, but actually a recognition of the joyfulness of life and a delight of life that God gives us. Um,
Yeah.
and I'll speak only for myself. And if you're listening along, and that you can just say, "Okay, me too." I can take myself way too seriously.
Me too. I will say me too to that.
It's like, "Oh, sister, you need to lighten up a little bit," as I'm, thinking through or processing things. But
Yeah, I think you highlight a really important and a truthful reality is that sometimes we just don't feel like it's appropriate to laugh. Um, and I agree with that. And I think with this, it's also recognizing that sometimes if we take ourselves too seriously and our situation too seriously, then the flip side is that we end up in a depressed state.
right,
And then how do we, I mean, when we are depressed, there is no way out, right? There
right.
is that deep well of hopelessness and feeling lost. And we don't want to go there. That's not where we're called to live, down at the bottom of the barrel all the time, but to be able to take t- tasteful humor,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah.
mentioned not at the expense of others, not excessively vulgar or inappropriate humor, but good tasteful humor can help both alleviate tension, um, helps keep our emotions in check, and also can help us get a clear perspective on what is and what isn't true. So I think those are the reasons why, some benefits of,
Mhm.
yeah, we can laugh and that's okay.
Right.
Um,
It's okay, and it's even more than okay. It's good, and gosh, a gift that the Lord wants to give us too, I think.
yeah, yeah. So I think a couple of practical tips.
Okay.
Then, if we are feeling awkward, how do I laugh? Like I don't even know how to laugh anymore, which is a
Mhm.
serious. I mean, that's a serious question that I had to ask myself as I was thinking about this topic. So I just want to share a couple of things that I came up with. One of them is to identify what makes me laugh. So is it cat videos? Do cat videos make you laugh? Um, I love watching babies laugh. You know that there's that sweet age. I don't know, maybe it was like 6 months old where they have the laughter and it's just this belly laugh and their whole body laughs. And I
Yeah.
love watching and listening to that laughter. And
Mhm.
so, is it babies who laugh? Like what makes you laugh? So first
Mhm.
identify. And then the second thing would be, if you have a phone, which most of us have, then save those videos, pictures, memes, gifs, whatever they are. Save them on your phone so
Mhm.
that you can go back to them. Don't let it get lost in the web. Save the ones that you really make you laugh, give you a good smile, a good chuckle, so that you have the resource right at your fingertips.
That's a great idea.
And for those of us who, whether you have a phone or don't, I found this great suggestion, which was to put together a laughter first aid box. So an actual box, find a box or a basket or something, a bowl, in
Yeah.
your house, and put together items that make you laugh. So it could be a funny toy, a stash of joke books, funny pictures. Maybe it's a picture, actually print out a picture
Mm.
that makes you laugh. Maybe it's of your child or of a friend, and put it in that first aid laughter box so that you could pull it out and you could go through. And just that tangible, that ability to see and feel, it can be a good way to alleviate and both, um, what is it? I guess bolster opportunities of laughter.
Yes. Intentional.
Yeah,
Crafting your life intentionally to have laughter in it.
yeah, yeah. So those are the tips those that I wanted to share. And before we wrapped it up, I thought we could share some. I found an article, and I'm going to look up the title, and you can find a plethora of articles these days. But this article is called 62 Coronavirus and Quarantine Jokes to Retrain Your Face to Smile. And it's by Emily Keller, and you could find that online. But I thought we could share a few highlighted jokes. So best quarantine jokes that we can find. So I'll start with the first one. And we were talking about delivery and how delivery with jokes is so important. So I am going to apologize in advance to those who are listening if this is not delivered well. But if it was delivered well, then you could let us know too. Give us a good pat on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the first one. Two grandmothers are bragging about their precious darlings. And one of them says to the other, "Mine are so good at social distancing, they won't even call me." But I'm big. The second one that I thought was pretty hilarious for me is, okay, so my husband purchased a world map and then gave me a dart and said, "Throw this, and wherever it lands, that's where I'm taking you when this pandemic ends." Turns out we're spending 2 weeks behind the fridge.
That one does makes me laugh so hard. Hilarious.
Yeah.
So Lillian, knock knock.
Who's there?
Etch.
Etch who?
Bless you. Little
Oh,
knock knock joke. You gotta have them in your life.
I think so. I think so. So we could share those with the world.
Yes.
And so just a final reminder that Proverbs 17:22 says, "A joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." And so if you are feeling emotionally exhausted and depleted and kind of feeling that tension we were talking about at the beginning of our talk, I want to encourage you to laugh and to laugh on.
Oh, thank you so much, Lillian. Oh, and blessing to all of you as you laugh. God is with you.